This is the kit as it comes in a box. This is my deluxe kit. It has various parts, so we're going to take it apart out of the box, just show everybody what it all consists of. Of course, instruction sheet and pamphlet, and this is called the front back extender. This is called the extreme attachment, or extreme size attachment. It comes in two parts. This is the basic cutting tool. This little thing here is called the adapter. Nice thing about this is that you can rotate it this way and also that way. So here's a little package of accessories. Some grinding powder, some silicon carbide grinding powder for edges, and some cloth for doing the sides of the glasses. So let me show you how things go, how things work. So if we're gonna cut a bottle, we start out by placing a bottle on the fixture, and depending on where you want to cut it and how big it is, you adjust several things. You adjust this plate here. Let's see. I think I want to cut down a little bit lower. Get that down just a little bit more. About somewhere right in here maybe. Let's see how it is. That works. Tighten the screw up. Let's see. Now the next thing is, it looks like it's a perfect setup here. Because it's right on the bottle. It's right on the bottle, and this is important. So let's do that now. So I'm going to scribe a line first, and we're going to you can hear that scribe mark. Yeah, I think we hit where we started. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is heat that. So let's heat that little spot right there. Some of the portions of the bottle are thicker and some are thinner. Go slow. We'll eventually get it all warmed up. Let's go a little faster now. Now to see if it's ready yet, touch a piece of ice to one spot. Yeah, that's got it pretty well all the way around. Now it's never really ready to come apart quite yet. So you go back on the flame and listen for little clicks. I heard one there. Let's see if she's ready now. Oh, there she goes. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is grind the edge a little bit with paper. A little bit on the inside. And that should do it just for temporary anyway. If I really wanted to get the top down really good, I'd use a silicon carbide and sprinkle that on some hard surface and then go around like so. You'd get that done. But that takes a little time. What I really want to show how this particular bottle cutter can just cut in all sorts of different places. So I'm going to demonstrate now how to use the adapter setup so that I can cut on a non-vertical surface. A lot of bottles are shaped barrel-like, not straight up and down. So this is the configuration I use. Just a cone and an adapter, and I've set it up so that two angles are equal here, and the cutter is right into the glass. And I like to use this incline because it helps keep the bottle against the cone. So let's scribe the line first. Yep, you can hear it hit. Next thing we're going to do is heat that edge. And then after we get it sort of warmed up, we're going to use the ice cube again. This is an old Perrier bottle. Some people like to use a hot and cold technique of hot water and cold water, and that's okay too, whatever works for them. I like this method. To me, it's not as messy. Let's see how that is. Yeah, it's going to work. Go around the ice. Let's see. Not quite ready to go yet though, so I'm going to go back on the flame. Let's see if she's ready. Yeah, perfect. So, you notice I didn't have to pull very hard. It just sort of comes apart. Well, you can sure see how thin that glass is there. Look how thin that is right in there. And it's thicker here. So that shows how that works. Now, let's go on to some other parts here. We've shown how to cut a normal size bottle that's straight up and down. And we've shown how to cut it right along a curved portion. Let's see what we can do next. Put this over here. All right. What I'd like to do now is show how I can use the part that's called a front back extender. You notice I've attached it this way. It gives me an extra length. So I've got this really tall wine bottle. It's a nice bottle. Make a good vase out of that one. And I'm going to cut her way up here so I have a big long vase. So I've set it way down here. And I'm going to cut it just as it starts to turn in. Yeah, I guess it is. All right, there's my line. Let's do the cutting now. This is going to be fairly thick glass here. And let's see here. I don't know if it's ready yet or not. Doesn't look like it's very good, but we'll try. Some spots didn't really crack very well, so I can see that. Let's go back. I didn't have it hot enough, so let's go back and get it all heated up again. I was getting a little too impatient. Let's see what we got now. Still doesn't look like it's good enough though. One little spot here. Let's see. Whoops, there it goes. It fell apart on me. So there you have it. All right. So then, that makes a really nice vase. You can use this for a candle holder if you wanted to. So now, let's go on to another thing we can cut. And let's try some square bottles. So let's put this aside. Let's see, put this over here somewhere. I don't know where. Over here. I have a special technique for cutting a square bottle. You notice this is an old olive oil bottle. And they seem to cut nice because they have rounded edges. So here's the technique I use for that. That's where these come in handy. I call this the extreme size attachment. I put one right here and one right here, and I mount them so that when I put the bottle along here, it just fits in like so, up against it. And I just take the cutting wheel out of the adapter and just mount that like so. So you can see how I did that. All right, now here's the technique. I've set it so that the cutting wheel is just about vertical. And when I rotate it, I slide it and rotate it at the same time, making sure it's always against the backstop. So let's see what we can do here. So let's go along like so. Alright, now the next thing I want to do is show how to use this extreme side attachment in other ways. For instance, let's see if I can get some of this stuff out of the way. Here, I've shown how putting this way instead of that way, I can cut really big bottles. There's a big bottle that I cut earlier. This little guy right here. Now, I can use the same configuration and cut really small stuff. Mounting this way forward. You notice this way it's way back, here it's way forward, and I can cut really small little bottles here. For instance, earlier I cut this bottle. It fits on just like so. This little bottle here. Not only that, but I'm going to cut a tube. You can use this for a glass tube cutter. So let's do that. I've got a tube over here. Get it up. These tubes you find in labs, and they're a little hard to cut, except maybe with a diamond saw, but you can do it this way too. So I've set this up to cut a piece off this tube here, maybe about so long. So let's do that. Get some strings here. Now you notice I've set it so that the cutting wheel rides right on the top of it. So let's grab a line first here. Alright, so I'm going to cut this little portion off here. Big long thing. I was going to make some flutes out of these glasses if I get around to it. This doesn't really need much heat. Let's see if that's enough. Get a piece of ice and whoops. There it goes. Nice job though. You can see it just didn't take much heat to do that at all. So a guy can make pieces out of these tubes. Isn't that something? Nice cut. Very even. So there you have it. Different varieties, different things you can cut all with that one bottle